Have you ever wondered how oxygen enters our blood and carbon dioxide leaves it? It all happens through gaseous exchange. When we inhale, air reaches the alveoli, which are surrounded by the tiny blood vessels called capillaries. The walls of the alveoli and capillaries are extremely thin and they are fused with the basement substance. Together, they form a very thin diffusion membrane with three layers: the thin squamous epithelium of the alveoli, the capillary endothelium, and the fused basement membrane. Because this membrane is so thin, oxygen can quickly diffuse from the alveoli into the blood, and carbon dioxide can easily move from blood into the alveoli. This opposite movement of the two gases is called gaseous exchange. But how does this happen? It happens due to partial pressure. Partial pressure means the pressure exerted by a single gas in a mixture of gases. And gases always move from higher partial pressure to lower partial pressure. So in the lungs, the alveoli have more oxygen due to inhalation, which means the partial pressure of oxygen is higher there than in the deoxygenated blood. Therefore, oxygen diffuses from the alveoli into the blood. At the same time, deoxygenated blood has more carbon dioxide than the alveoli, so carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood into the alveoli and is exhaled. This is how gaseous exchange occurs in the alveoli. But the story does not end here. Once oxygen enters the blood, it is carried to the different tissues through the circulatory system. Here, the same kind of exchange happens again. In the tissues, oxygen is continuously used up for metabolism, so its partial pressure is lower in the tissues and higher in the oxygenated blood. Therefore, oxygen diffuses from the blood into the tissues. Similarly, in the tissues, carbon dioxide is continuously produced due to metabolism, so its partial pressure is higher in the tissues and lower in the blood. That's why carbon dioxide diffuses from the tissues into the blood. This is how gaseous exchange occurs here. So in both places, in the lungs and in the tissues, gases move by simple diffusion along the partial pressure gradient. In simple words, oxygen is loaded in the lungs, carried by the blood to the tissues, and used up there. Carbon dioxide is picked up from the tissues, carried back to the lungs, and exhaled. That is the complete mechanism of gaseous exchange.